Everything's greased up nicely. It's pretty well incorporated. Oh, look at that. Behold today's squirrel shirt. Hey y'all, welcome back to Cooking with Squirrel. Today we have another drunk recipe. It's not healthy, but it's delicious. So the backstory here is pretty simple. I bought some s'mores treats at the store, which turned out to be very stale, and I got a little drunk and decided to fix it. And by fix it, I mean fry it in bacon fat, because bacon is delicious. So let's get into it. All right, so the recipe is going to be in two parts. We're going to make the treats and then we'll fry the treats. So the first thing we're going to do is grease our pan that the treats are eventually going to go into. So we'll drop about a tablespoon of butter in here. We will work that around the entire pan. There we go. I think we got all the corners, all the sides. Everything's greased up nicely. We'll set this to the side, clean the butter off our hands, and get on to the next step. All right, next step. We are going to add 3 tablespoons of salted butter to a pan over medium heat. We're going to let that melt. As you can see, our butter is fully melted. We're going to go in with a 12-ounce package of mini marshmallows. The only reason to use mini is really that they will melt faster. You can use any size marshmallow. And we're going to stir this until it melts and is all nice and smooth. Maybe should have used a non-stick pan. Almost there. A few lumps still. All right, that looks pretty smooth to me. We're now going to go in with 3 cups of Rice Krispies. And then 4 cups of Golden Graham cereal or anything that's a graham cracker type cereal. Now we'll stir this until well coated. We're going to go ahead and turn the heat off. This pan is borderline too small. Okay, we're going to move this off the heat. Seems pretty well incorporated to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to put about half of this in. Press it out. We are going to butter our fingers. Stuff is massively sticky. You just will not be able to keep it off your fingers unless you grease up. So let's get this spread out to a fairly even layer. All right, we got our first layer on. We're gonna get a cup of frozen semi-sweet chocolate chips out of the freezer and sprinkle that on, and that hopefully that'll keep them from melting too much, and then we'll put the next layer on. There we go, in with the chips. And now our last layer. Definitely use a non-stick pan. Don't do like I did. Okay, that is most of everything. Let's get that spread out. Because of what we're going to do to these after they've cooled, we want these pretty well compacted. If they're not compacted well, they could fall apart when we try and fry them. All right, let's get these in the freezer to cool off, and we'll come back later and cut them and fry them. All right, and we are back from the freezer. So next, we're gonna section these out, get them ready for frying. Portion size is completely up to you. Serrated knife is pretty helpful here. I did a terrible job of getting that even. Doesn't really matter. Let's get some of these out of here. Loosen around the edges. Alright, so you can see we have portioned this out poorly. See, I've got some nice diagonal lines here. So I've got some skinny guys over here and some fat guys over here. We have loosened the edges, and now we will pull some of these out and get ready to fry. First one's always a little difficult to get out. There he comes. Look at that. That looks beautiful. Now, time for the fun part. Let's fry these things. Okay, we got our pan on medium-high, a little under medium-high. Too hot and we're going to burn these, but if it's not hot enough, you're not going to get a sizzle. So we're going to add a little more bacon fat to this pan, go in with our next batch. Give it a swirl, and in with some more of our tasty s'mores treats. And you will want to wipe your pan out in between if you start getting some burnt stuff stuck down on the bottom. You don't want to get that real bitter, burnt flavor on these. Okay, now it's time for the best part, the taste test. So, as you can see, I have garnished this with some of the bacon that I rendered out to get the bacon fat to fry these in. And maybe we should give some to the dogs. Pork chop, you want a treat? There you go. There you go. Bacon for puppies. Bacon for puppies. Okay, that's it. No more. All right, the dogs have their treat. Now time for my treat. Let's get this in my face hole. So you've got a nice marshmallow pull here. Oh, look at that. Got melty chocolate, melty marshmallow, crispy edges with the bacon fat. That is a silly, silly dish, but it is really fun. It's really tasty. Certainly not something you do all the time. I would not suggest actually making it drunk like I did. Hot oil, hot sticky sugars all lead to bad things when you're drunk. Don't do it. Make it sober, and it's tons of fun. You get a little bit of salt and the bacon flavor from frying these in the bacon. You see it's all warm and gooey, almost like a s'mores right off a campfire, and you get a little smoky flavor from the char on the graham crackers. Super good. Give it a try. Hi, puppy. Willie wants chocolate, but Willie can't have chocolate. If you enjoyed this recipe, consider liking and subscribing and tickling the bell to get notifications for all of my upcoming content. And do me a favor, go out and do something nice for somebody today. Pay it forward. Thanks for stopping by.